I think we do leave it off. Please load. Please load, bruv. Alright, brubs. We're back with new book arrivals, number 280. And let's put on the light for dramatic effect. Although, I like how the violin table over there looks. It's too hot to open the window at this time of the day. There we go. Now we have light, bruv. We have light. Let me get this chat open. Let me get this chat open. Chat open. It's a real cool effect where the light comes through these old thrift store curtains. There's the old settee back there. We could make it turn around. But do we really want to, bro? Look at that. The light comes in as it turns. Alright. Chat is almost set up. Control the 280. Playlist. Playlist. New book arrivals. Come on. Click. Done. Save. I didn't plan on doing this where the little rack upon the shelf is now the new book arrivals, but it shall serve as that until I get done here. Let's go. The House on the Moat. Beautiful Kathleen Killian learns too much about the old English moat house, and in terror must await her own death. I mean, that's a great cover. Once I get the sticker off, it'll be even better. Another sticker. Could the moat be haunted? Could the moat house be haunted? The year is 1810. And the fiery young Irish orphan, oh Lord, she's an Irish orphan, arrives at the 14th century castle, the Moat House, deep in the forbidding countryside of Kent. Surrounded by murky river, this old mansion is to be the home of Sir Peregrine and his strangely timid wife, Narissa. And this is the house that Kathleen is to run. She is joined by Polly Dean, the white-haired, eccentric old cook who walks about at night and is strangely intuitive about the lurking spirits. What's up, Fork? What is my favorite band? Chopin. And by the three chambermaids who enter their new positions with enthusiasm and innocence, too much innocence. Another arrival is Sir Peregrine's uncle, Lord Telford, an earl who is high above Kathleen's station, and yet one who must become her friend, as he offers her sanity, and perhaps even love, in what is to become a situation of sheer doom. For as Kathleen slowly begins her duties and learns of the violent secret history of the Moat House, she suddenly wonders what kind of household she has come into, full of strange cries and a deep, hidden terror and prophecies danger, and maybe even death. A Magnum Gothic original, never before published. Year was this, 76? It's always 76 now. 72. A Lancer. Yeah, that's a great cover. Have to get that sticker off there, and then we'll have even better cover. Right? If I Can't Have You. Greg Olson and Rebecca Morris. Susan Powell, her mysterious disappearance, and the murder of her children. Every once in a great while, a genuine murder mystery unfolds before the public's eyes. Such is the tragic case of Susan Powell and her murdered boys, Charlie and Braden. When the pretty Utah mother went missing in December of 2009, the media was swept up in the story. With lenses and microphones trained on Susan's husband, Josh, he said he had no idea what happened to Susan and that he and the boys had been camping in the middle of a snowstorm. It was hard to know what or who to believe. Didn't he kill the kids afterwards, after he got some kind of. Over the next 3 years, bombshell by bombshell, the world of secrets about the Powell family came to light. Josh's father, Steve, who was sexually obsessed with Susan, would ultimately be convicted of unspeakable perversion. Josh's brother, Michael, would commit suicide, and in the most stunning event of them all, Josh Powell would murder his two little boys before killing himself. Why did he do it? What really happened to Susan? This is the shocking, true story of the Powell family, and no reader will soon forget. Sick bastard. Sick bastard. 3 Frida McFadden books that I will sell. Paid 70 cents a piece. I can probably get $10 a piece for them. But we shall see. I know there's one Frida McFadden book that's really worth a lot, but I don't think these are it. I don't know. The X might be it. Although this has a remainder mark, so that would tell you that it's... And maybe it is. Let me look it up. This fucker got spine creases. Personally, I don't consider these books at all. Consider these a profaning of ink and paper. Let's see what the X McFadden. The surrogate mother. She's your worst nightmare. Do not disturb. What are the ones I just recently sold? I don't know. It'd be great if these were the ones that were rare. I doubt they are. McFadden. Oh, Sam rubs his eyes again. So what? Are you unemployed now? No. Then you'll make it right again. You always do. What if I don't? He shrugs. Well, we're going to have a baby soon. You can stay home if you want. You know I don't want to do that. I've worked really hard to get where I am. I put my hands on my hips. Anyway, you don't earn enough money on your own. We'd have to start going through my savings. I earn enough for us to get by. Not really. He gives me a look. Sam rarely seems resentful of the fact. Anyway, yeah, I'm selling these pieces of garbage. Carl Sagan. I'm not a particular fan of Sagan, but this is an early edition, I would say, maybe first. I think this is a first, right? First edition of Contact by Sagan. Can't go wrong on that for $1.11. See how the boards look. Look very boardy. Carl Sagan. There's a little moisture exposure up there, but that will suffice for $1.11. Look at that guy. No wonder I don't like him. All right, let's get to the good stuff. The Ford Treasury of Station Wagon Holidays, which may be my favorite find in a long time. When I saw this, I was literally happy. It takes a lot for me to get happy about a book, but this is brilliant. Ford Treasury of Station Wagon Living, Volume 2. Hope this is the right volume. Look at this. No one can tell you that life in the 60s and 70s, 50s through 70s, wasn't better than it is now. Look at this stuff. The year is this 58. From California to Cape Cod, spinning milk cartons were the universal symbol of camping. I did not know that. Gay decorations that whirled with the slightest breeze. So, they're paper? What did they do to them? Turn them like into lanterns? I want to see this. There's Henry Ford and his. Is that Henry Ford when he used to go on his little camping trips? Their expenditures totaled $100.01. 0.76. Why am I saying that like I'm a foreigner? $101.76. Hotel room $5. That's it. Car expenses $32.56. Admission to historical sites 90 cents. Film $6.85. Food $47.40. Damn, half the cost of the trip was food. The only additional expense is for ice, but you can get by with a 40-cent block once every 2 or 3 days, depending on the temperature. Our staff members hit some especially hot days, shooting their ice cost to $3 for the week. Look at that van. Oh my God. That's more like a bus. Or is that an old RV? A secondhand street bus converted into a cheerful mobile home. Fisherman's Camp on Isle Royale National Park. First mobile push-button camper. Why are they showing toy cars? I don't like it. It's really weird that they're showing these toy cars. Cottage tent, an umbrella tent. Right, pitched on platforms. Look at that station wagon. My God. Bring them back. Bring them back. Yukon Territory. Look at that wagon. That is a beast. Look at that. The tent on top. Pure genius. See what the boards look like. We already looked at them. That is a brilliant book. That one will go in my will go on the spinning bookshelf, bruv. The rotating bookshelf. What we got now? Jackson, The Rise and Fall of the World's Largest Walled Prison. A History and a Memoir by Perry M. Johnson. There he is, Warden Harry Hulbert, circa 1923. It doesn't really have a caption. Anyway, Jackson Prison. I believe it's still operational in Jackson, Michigan. But it was basically one of the earliest and largest prisons. A lot of people went to Jackson Prison. It's great for my Michigan research in case I need to access it. What do we got here? This is going to be a seller. I'm going to sell this one, the Christopher Robin storybook. I think it's a 1950s or 60s hardcover of A.A. Milne's Pooh Bear. Enterprise, 1973. The author to his read is. It's in really good shape. I paid $1 for it, but it's worth it since I'm going to sell it for about 15 or 20. Looks like mostly poems and vignettes about Pooh and the gang. 28th printing, so it's not like a rarity, but Doesn't really have a scent either, which is nice. Let's see what we got now. The Web That Has No Weeva. Understanding Chinese Medicine by Ted. Who you want to trust more than a white guy writing about Chinese medicine? Ted J. Kaptchuk. I was hoping it was by a Chinese person, but Ted Kaptchuk manages to merge the insight of a Taoist sage with the skepticism of a modern, inquiring scientist. I am delighted to see his classic book reappear in a new, expanded edition for the new century. I hope it will continue to bring Eastern and Western medicine closer together. Something tells me it won't. All right, we'll just start picking. I believe I have this book already, but this falls in the same vein. What's that book that, the one that inspired Rhiannon, but the hell's it called? I have it in the other room. 2 copies. It's worth a bunch, but this reminds me of that a lot. And what's it also say? Where does it say it? A novel of the supernatural. I've got to believe that it's from the same publisher that published the Rhiannon book, which isn't called Rhiannon. Don't pull the stickers off, Bob, while you're doing a live cast. Don't pull the stickers off. Too bad. Already halfway done. Hate these stickers. Hey, it's so we can give you a half off. No, it isn't. So you don't have to do any work. Do your job. Marilys Millhiser was born in Charles City, Iowa, and her depiction of the setting of Nella Waits is from first-hand observation. She now lives with her husband and 2 children in Boulder, Colorado. Her first novel, Michael's Wife, met with critical acclaim. She looks real thrilled about being an author. I like the cover, regardless. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, my favorite, Progressivism. A very short introduction by Walter Nugent, father of Ted. Be funny if he was. Progressivism. See what the caption says. Nugent's elegant treatment is not only a masterful synthesis of the field, it is an important interpretive invention that will inspire continued rethinking of the chronology and politics, as well as the many virtues of the progressives. Robert D. Johnston, author of The Radical Middle Class. So yeah. The Great Gatsby. Everyone knows what this is. I still haven't read The Great Gatsby, but apparently this is the original text that he meant to publish, or before it was. This includes the author's final revisions and features a note on the composition and text. A personal foreword by Fitzgerald's granddaughter, Eleanor Lanahan, and a new introduction by 2-time National Book Award winner, Jesmyn Ward. Didn't know he was born in St. Louis or St. Paul, Minnesota. Zelda Sayre. For the next decade, the couple lived in New York, Paris, and on the Riviera. Fitzgerald's masterpiece includes The Beautiful and Damned, The Great Gatsby, and Tender as the Night. He died at the age of 44 while working on The Last Tycoon. Fitzgerald's fiction has secured his reputation as one of the most important American writers of the 20th century, and I've still never read a word by him. All right, we'll go with Pyramid Power. Bestseller on Pyramid Energies by Max Toth and Greg Nielsen. The secret energy of the ancients revealed, the world's greatest mystery, the original, revised, and enlarged. A good environment for transcendental meditation, biofeedback, and yoga, in that it surrounds its inhabitants with energy. The oh, there it is. When I picked up one book at the thrift store, this flew out. Looks like some kind of a shirt tag. Van Boven, Ann Arbor and Detroit. So I grabbed it, I can use it as a bookmark. Van Boven. All right, what do we got up here? Terry Brooks, 10-cent book. Obviously, I don't care about sci-fi, but I will sell it once I get some more of these 10-cent books because they eventually... I've learned at the local library that most of the stuff I want, no one else wants, so just wait till it goes on the 10-cent rack and then I grab it. Which is what I did with this, and now I just need to find a couple more books in the series and then I'll sell it, make some money. Dragon at the Bar. Long before the half-trained court wizard, Questor, Thews had turned the court... No, I can't read that. Can't read that. Malaki. What's this? House Girl. I don't know if this is worth any money. I meant to look it up, but at some point, I went to the restroom at the library and all my books disappeared. And eventually, after a 10-minute search, I tracked it down to one of the volunteers who puts out new books, had taken this book. So I never got to look them up, so I'll look it up now. What's this say? Did I sell something, bruv? Seller offer $17. No, I'm not buying it. Keep it, bruv. House Girl by... What's her name? Conklin? Conklin. See if this book has any audience whatsoever. I said I can't really go wrong for a signed book for $1. Maybe. Probably still sell it for $10. Nobody seems to want it, but never know. There might be a person who just loves herself some Tara Conklin. I just love Tara Conklin. She's my favorite. This is bullshit. There she is. Look at her. Hi, guys. Linus Sparrow is an ambitious young lawyer working on an historic... Isn't it an historic? Class action suit. I can't read that. I can't read it, bruv. I got no patience for that rubbish. Animal Farm by George Orwell. Orwell that ends well. Obviously, I do have a first edition of Orwell's Animal Farm, so this is just gravy because it was 25 cents. One thrift store I go to, all the paperbacks are 25 cents and less marked. So why wouldn't you pick up a $10 book for a quarter? When you can. The Kingdom of the Cults. I just picked up a paperback version of this the other day. I think at the same... Jack and Donna Egger, you're missionaries in Fiji. There they are, the Eggers. Nice stash, Dad. Hopefully his sons did not grow stashes like their father. I read some of this the other night on the live stream while I was doing my... It's so weird that I keep seeing the same book at different places. What's the other book I kept seeing? Bede. Who's the Bede by Adam Bede? I don't know who it's by, but I can't remember. Adam Bede. Who's that by? George Eliot? Anyway, I keep seeing that book. I keep seeing a bunch of books at different places, the same books. It's like a book club just dispersed all their stuff. Anyway, this is a hardcover to go with my paperback version of a Kingdom of the Cults. Can't hurt to have some info on cults. What else do we got? Sue Grafton signed copy. Yeah. She's dead, so I mean, it can only go up in value. Paid $2 for it, but I don't think it's worth very much. This is one of her later books. obviously. In the Alphabet series, I don't know if she ever finished it. Did she get to Z or not? I don't know if she did. But now I have a signed copy. I have a bunch of the other of the series. Hey guys. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Patricia Cornwell's Portrait of a Killer. As you can see, I already have a copy down there, but that is the smaller book club edition. So now I got this for 10 cents. A nice full-size hardcover of Jack. Whoa, that was part of Jack the Ripper. Look at that. That's brilliant. That's an official document. That's fucking great. Portrait of a Killer. I let my mother borrow my other copy. She said this is rubbish. At least she didn't like it. Didn't they just supposedly solve this case? Didn't they, bruv? Don't know. Alright, what else do we got over here? Eric von Daniken, In Search of Ancient Gods, My Pictorial Evidence for the Impossible. Obviously, von Daniken is one of the early UFO writers back in the 50s and 60s. And then he branched off into other things of the unknown. And I don't disagree with the fact that these pyramids might have been used for aliens. But 95% of the time you find this book in mass market paperback, so a nice hardcover for $1.11, I believe. Yes. $1.11. It's on your head, buddy. There you go. Feel better? He's still alive, isn't he? I believe he is, bruv. I believe he is. Is that Easter Island? I believe so, bruv. Alright, what's this? The Ivory Mischief by Meeker. And I looked up on Goodreads because I could find no information about it elsewhere, that this is a book on two sisters who existed, but I think obviously it's a fictional embellishment, and it says, prefatory note, none of the characters in this novel is imaginary. So that's why I looked it up, because I figured it was kind of a historical novel. I think it's two sisters of some aristocracy in France in the 18th century, maybe 17th, 19th. Yeah, 17th century. It's supposed to be a really good book. I only paid $1 for it, so $1.11. Another book I'll never read, but The Girl I Was by Geneva Rose and Home is Where the Bodies Are. Obviously, I'm selling both of these. Hey, Geneva, how are you? You good? She's got those puffy lips. Beth, I don't stop shoveling into the plots for Butterfly, Goofy, and Garfield are all dug up. And when I do, I collapse, staring straight up at the tangled branches, the dark sky above them. The wet mud isn't the dirtiest thing I'm covered in. It's the deceit, the grief, the shame. Rain slithers through the natural formed canopy, splashing onto my sweaty skin. I know it's thundering because I can feel the vibration in the soil, but I can't hear it. I can't hear anything except my own heart pounding inside my chest. Every thump feels like a warning. Run, leave, tell someone, do something. But I just lie there, gasping for air. Now you see why I'm selling it. What's this say? Rated what for what? Rated T for thrilling. Thrilling. It's very thrilling. It's this woman from England. No, she is from Wisconsin. Her stubborn English bulldogs, Winston and Phyllis. This one at least looks like somewhat of a thriller. This just looks like all out romance. She looks way different there, too. I wonder if that's before she got her lips filled. Alexis Spencer is never too far away from another inspirational quote to rationalize her failures and ignore all her problems. Her boyfriend breaks it off. She's lost her job. Her closest friends are a distant memory, and her college debt is still as high as the day she left, and that bastard Joe Biden didn't pay it. In typical fashion, she blames the world for her problems, including her 18-year-old self, who should have just tried harder and put their life on a better track. After feeling sorry for herself, Alexis goes on a bender to forget her problems. Yeah, that's some quality reading. You know all these videos and memes about, if I had one thing to tell my younger self, I would say don't listen to fucking your older self if he comes back. That's my advice to my 18-year-old self. When this fucking idiot comes and tries to tell you something, which is impossible, he can't come back and tell you. Tell him to fuck you. Do better. Do better, you piece of shit. The London Seance Society, a novel by Sarah Penner, the Lost Apothecary author. Lena, Paris, 13 February 1873, at an abandoned chateau on the wooden outskirts of Paris. A dark seance was about to take place. The clock read 32 minutes after midnight. Leanna Wicks, spiritualist understudy, sat at an oval table draped in black linen. A gentleman and his wife, the other seance participants, sat at the table with her. Their faces were somber and their breathing uneasy. They were in what was once a parlor of the dilapidated chateau, which had not been inhabited for 100 years. Let's make this interesting. For 100 years. Where's my spot? Behind Leanna, blood-colored paper peeled from the walls, clusters of mildew hiding underneath. If all went well tonight, the ghost they sought, that of a young woman murdered here in this very place, would soon appear. Above them, something skittered. Mice, surely. Leanna had seen the droppings when they walked in, the tiny black kernels scattered about the baseboards. But then the skitter turned to a scratching noise, and was that a thud she just heard? Was it? Guess you'll have to buy this overpriced book. What do they charge for something like this nowadays? What year is this? 2023. I don't think this book has any value, but I'll put it with my other books on seances. What do they charge for this? $30. My God. I paid $30, bro. There's a nice cover. I'll grant them that. See if she's got any lip injections. No. She's got nice, normal lips. She hasn't puffed herself out. I never understood that look. It looks like somebody went to the fucking dentist and they haven't recovered. I don't understand the look. It makes zero sense. Mr. Morley. The morning after... Let's read what it's actually about her. Amid the shrouded parlors of Victorian London, two daring women hunt for truth and justice in the perilous art of conjuring the dead. 1873, at an abandoned chateau on the outskirts of Paris. A dark seance. Isn't that what I just fucking read? Led by acclaimed spiritualist Vaudeline Delaire, known worldwide for her talent in conjuring the spirits of murder victims to ascertain the identities of the people who killed them. She is highly sought after by widows and investigators alike. Lena Wicks has come to Paris to find answers about her sister's death, but to do so, she must embrace the unknown and overcome her own logic-driven bias against the occult. Right? And that leaves us with one last book, My Hero Academia. About a year or two ago, I asked my kid, I go, you still read My Hero Academia? That was when I was in fourth grade. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know. But yeah. Side story. Tsuyu's Ribbity Diary. This book belongs to, how does that say? Jayanya? Proudy? Prudy? Jayanya. Jaanya. How kind of name is Jaanya? Or is that Joanya? No, it's Janya. Janya Prati. I wonder if that's Indian. So I have numerous of these manga books, even though my kid is too old to read them, apparently. My child. I think that's it, bruv. Let's take one last look at the spinning little thing. Any comments? Anybody? Anybody? You got a comment? All right, bruvs. You had your chance to speak. You had your chance, bruv.